record the session for Melvin and Andrew as well, so I'll chuck that on record now. And I'll also share my screen. Okay. My screen's coming up for everybody?
It is.
Excellent. Okay, just to begin, I want to go through just a few accolades for this last week and just share some of the numbers. Now, bear in mind, David and Lonray, if you're both here, this doesn't include the Africa numbers. However, happy to have you guys chime in and share some of your numbers. However, just as a quick go through the sales numbers, accolades, first and foremost, I want to highlight this number from Brian. So Brian was at 13 opportunities last week and went all the way up to 18 opportunities and added, this is the crazy number, Brian last week, on the last sort of week, added 110K worth of potential revenue. So that shares a couple of things. The first one is that he had a really good conversion rate of high quality deals because he did 10 demos, added 5 opportunities, and the sort of deal size for those was in excess of 10K each of those deals, especially the Walmart deal, which is worth sort of around 70K. So big props to Brian. I was with Brian in the Walmart demo, and yeah, he's done some great things. This is the first one I wanted to highlight, was how much Brian had increased his potential revenue from week to week. That was crazy big. Another shout out to this number from Adrian, who booked 15 demos in the 1 week. If you had done that at Zenefits or another one of the software as a service giants, you would have kept your job for that week, mate, as an SDR. So congratulations. You keep your job.
Thank you.
You're welcome, buddy.
I look forward to coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, you're welcome. Credit where credit is due. The other thing that we're happy to have this last week is Eduardo, who was a referral in from Ricardo, who works here as well, came on board. So welcome to Eduardo. Just so I can share some of the reasons or why Eduardo is so beneficial. He has a great background in as a trainer for registered training organizations here in Australia. So his background, especially in terms of a technology perspective and the sort of high level conversation that he can bring to training organizations, is such that probably none of us else can do, except for probably Lonray or David over in Africa, who can say, listen, I've been a trainer and I have worked on sort of different other systems, and I want to share some things that are really effective as a trainer that you can begin to implement into your system. So I'm sure that's how some of the ways that David and Lonray are getting some of the great deals that they are. As a quick brief into the sort of numbers as well, I wanted to go through some of Africa's numbers just to share some of their potential that they've got on the board right now. So right now they have around 34 opportunities and around 70K in confidence that we can close before the end of the year. And I want to talk about that particular concept. So congrats everyone for some of the good number wins in the last week. But I want to talk about in particular, and I want to watch a demo with everybody to listen to an end of a demo and see some of the things that we can change. And I'm gonna start by sharing it that we're not doing enough to push people towards smaller end plans. And the reason that is because the legacy of GO1 is in free demo or free up to 10 users. And I want to move away from that entirely and share that the first option is to go onto a small user plan. And the next option after that is to go on to be scaled upwards. I think it'll be a lot easier to get people through the door into higher plans if we can get them through the door on any plan. So I want to share the end of a demo, and I appreciate Adrian is the first. I was with a demo when he did with the printer ink company called Brother, and I want to first of all, he's the first. Everyone's going to have to go through this. Oh, everyone's going to have to go through this, so don't think that you're safe. Everyone should be recording their demos, and we want, for as much as possible, if we're to become masters of the demo, we need to remove who is right and what is right, and talk about other ways that we can share information and overcome concerns. So I appreciate Adrian being first. I recognize it's a daunting experience, but we appreciate Adrian accepting the first challenge to share a portion of his demo that we can improve. First of all, make sure everybody is constructive. But we're going to listen to 5 minutes, and we're going to have a break in between for each 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to quickly bring it up, and I'm going to hit play. What's most important for me is that we can hear the audio. So I'm going to hit play really quick and just see if the audio exists that everyone can hear. And a maximum amount of users rather than real time access to. Can everyone hear that audio or not? I'm getting a resounding reply. Boys, can you hear that audio or not?
It started to work. It looks like you may have paused it.
Say that again. As I've shown you both.
It did start to work. We could hear it.
You could hear it?
Just like that. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So this is the end of the demo, and I'm proposing a few tweaks to the following, but would love to get people's feedback. We're going to go through just the end of the demo where Adrian and I are talking about the pricing structure. They've really liked the system. We're talking about timeline, price structure, and a couple other things. And so we're going to pause this after sort of a small interval and get some feedback as to what we can change, or what things we did well and what things we can change. So I'll hit play with that now, and I'll pause after a section. So get ready to give your feedback as to some of the things went well and how we can accelerate this timeline to a user plan.
All I needed to cover with you guys today, unless you had any further questions. If it's okay for you from here, I'm more than happy to spin you guys up a customizable Brother instance. So you'll have access to your own portal exactly the same as I've shown you both now. You'll both have admin rights, so you can go in, start to play with the system, upload some courses, create some courses if need be, and that's free for you guys to use up to sort of 10 people. If you like what you see, we can look at touching base again, next week or the week after, depending on your time frames, and get a gauge of sort of any more questions you may have, and any and then the user experience, and then we can look at progressing from there. So, yeah. Would that be something that would be interesting? Okay, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Did you guys have a time frame in mind for when you'd be looking at rolling something like this out, possibly?
No. I was going to clarify for you, because I said that we're losing one of our key resources who was skilled in using, or is skilled in using Kickblade.
Yep.
With her position, it's probably being reviewed at the moment, and so consequently, I would see that position as being more the appropriate one to incorporate this sort of thing into their assessment.
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll probably be about a month or so before we get a reality check as to what the executive group really want to do in regard to it. So at the moment, our focus is on the human resource information system that So the way it's evolving, it could be that another area of the company will be looking after training.
Yep.
So it's a bit of state of flux at the moment because of where we're at. So I don't know if that will clarify until probably early in the new year. It could be before then, but it'll probably be around about January, February that what they want and what's been agreed is sort of been acted upon.
Okay, I'm gonna pause there really quick. Can someone give me a small 10-second debrief of what you think has happened in, like, what did Adrian do? What did the person respond with? Give me, maybe I'll put it to you, Brian. What do you think is the lay of the land as to what's happened in the last sort of couple of minutes? Anytime now, Brian.
Austin, test.
Yep, can hear you.
Okay, so I had a question I wanted to ask regarding this, but I'm going to dig in real quick. So I think what happened was maybe because we mentioned free trial originally, then when it came to implementation, they went from like, oh, exciting, to timeline to actually use and like maybe pay for. Then he got a little bit spooked and he said, oh, okay, so, and then he kind of danced around his timeline. So this could, he's like, oh, it could be in December, but it could also be January, February.
Yep.
Can I, real quick, I wanted to ask, so when Adrian asked about the timing, so is it appropriate to ask the timing before they've had the free trial? Should you ask once before the free trial and then a second time after the free trial, or only after the free trial? Like, which works best? Because I feel like you'll get a different answer depending on when you've asked.
Good question. I'm going to come back to it because it's going to be part of my answer. Will be the attitude or verbiage change that I want to adapt. So yeah, good question. Yep, I think it's a good lay of the land. We were kind of discussing prices. They were actually really happy with the price. When we started talking about the free trial, it kind of was this elongated, maybe it'll be in Feb, maybe it'll be in December. We get a little bit more of a tidbit of information in the next couple of minutes. But walk me through, Adrian, listening to it again. Walk me through what sort of your feelings or impressions are listening to it again.
Apart from the fact I hate listening to my own voice, and it was very sickening. Yeah, I think what you're saying is true. I think, well, if it's okay, I'd probably prefer if I could get some feedback first. If that's okay.
Sure, no problem at all. Just wanted to get your general feelings, if anything popped up when you were listening to it again.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary, and I suppose that's because I've been doing it the same way. So, I'd love to learn from others if that's okay.
Appreciate you being brave here, Adrian. I recognise it's tough, mate. So very impressed.
Yeah.
Blake, what are your thoughts or impressions?
I honestly couldn't follow, like I couldn't pick up the conversation where it kind of started, and I couldn't really highlight anything that I.
Was it hard for audio?
Okay, muted. I think you muted.
Austin, can you hear Blake?
Yeah, I can, but it's from Adrian.
Sorry.
That's fine. I can hear him. Okay.
I really didn't pick up anything that I could point out, to be honest.
Cool. All good.
Very sorry.
We're about to get an additional tidbit, and we'll go through some feedback in a little bit about how I sort of want to change how this was going to go. But the girl on the call also piped in and shared some of the little bit of tidbits. So I'll go back and we'll listen to the end, and then we'll talk about how to perhaps change this conversation.
Yeah, no worries at all. That's fine. Look, we're happy to be flexible with you guys, and I'll see this instance listen. You can have a play with it, sort of get yourself accustomed to it towards the end of the year. I don't know what the business is like there, but it may quieten down a little bit into the Christmas break, so you might have a chance to play with it, sort of create some courses, and we can look at touching base again soon and discussing further if that's okay with you.
Yeah, just December would be a more ideal time for us to have a good look at the system and see what it can do. So,
and also possibly recommended if it's appropriate to another group or a person.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I mean, if it's working for you, we can integrate it through all the a few other departments if necessary.
Okay.
great.
Well,
Thank you very much.
No worries. Well, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. I'll spin this instance up for you guys.
Okay, we'll end it there because it kind of doesn't change. So what I liked about that, and first and foremost, I want to share some of the things from, because I was in the whole demo, can share about Adrian's demo that I want to talk about a little bit more. First thing is Adrian is brilliant at building rapport. So people have no problem about sharing additional tidbits of information when he asks. And Brian did mention that the guy seemed quite guarded. Could have been that. Adrian in general is brilliant. Probably one of his biggest strengths is disarming people through being genuine. And I think that that's something we can all learn from, is how Adrian constructs that in order to use as a sales skill to be genuine, authentic. And that's very clear throughout every process of the demo. One change that I think will be drastically different, and I want everyone to pay particular attention to how I phrase this next bit, because I would love to hear everybody's feedback. At the end of the demo, I would love for it to go something like this. Thanks very much. We want to help you get the most out of utilizing the system. In order to do that, we want to provide a very full-featured experience. We've found through our research that in order to get this full-featured experience, one of the best ways is to utilize a 25-user plan. That 25-user plan will enable the features that you need to be able to make the correct decisions moving forward in January and February. I recognize that you have around about 1,000 users, which perhaps we would look at rolling out in January or February. To really get an idea as to whether or not this is the correct tool, we've found that people really need to do a pilot of around 15 or 20 users. Moving forward, what I would like to do is to put you on a 25-user plan. That costs $150 per month. The purpose of that is so that you can see everything that GO1 Portal can do, but you also have the amount of users required to be able to understand whether or not it's going to meet multiple departments or even a small pilot group's needs. If we were to do a 25-user plan for $150 and we started that in December, we would love to also assist in being able to migrate or create some great content for you in the system. Do you think that there would be any barriers to implementing maybe a small 25-user plan to start your trial off? Okay. I'd love to get everyone's feedback. Do you think that that would make a difference? Or, yeah, we'd love to hear people's feedback as opposed to what we're currently doing.
I like that. I thought it was good. So at least you help the person make a decision, push them to make a decision sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, it seems very. It seems like a no-brainer for them to just try it out. They haven't got a lot to lose, so they can try roll it out on a trial basis before they implement across the organisation. So no, I really like that.
Wait, Austin, are you suggesting that they sign up for a paid plan? Is that what it is, or are you saying just try it a free trial and then maybe give it a go?
Yeah, I'm saying we should immediately dispense with the free trial and push people immediately to a 15 or 25 user plan.
Wait, so are we trying to get them to sign up before they got their custom instance to play with it?
Sorry, I missed that. Say that again.
So are we? This is the first call, and we're hoping that they'll maybe just sign up for one of the smaller plans before they've even had a shot at the custom instance.
Okay, so I'm fine for the 14-day trial to exist. If they've had a very positive experience with the system, then this is a tool that we can utilize. If we feel that the 14-day trial is going to enhance, or my concern is that our 14-day trial, we don't handhold enough, and if we're handholding them, the 14-day trial can be very effective. But my actual impression is that our 14-day trial is kind of like we chuck them the instance and say good luck and give them a double thumbs up. And we create no buy-in from the client at point of purchase. I want us to stop using the free trial as always and start utilizing it situationally. And maybe step 1 through 3. Step 1, share how higher user limits can enhance the trial. Or if you're going to provide a trial, say you've got 14 days that I want to make successful, and then I suggest if you have a good initial experience, push that to 7 days, the free trial. To say, we'd love to provide you access for 7 days. I want to shorten the free trial because right now our free trial isn't successful. If I could show the stats, I'm sure they would say that people aren't utilizing the free trial properly. So I'm thinking of ways that we can force buy-in immediately. So one of those ways is to shorten the free trial. The second way is to share that the trial isn't full-featured and that a 25 user plan is the best way to go ahead to get the full experience and the user to put in users into the system to get a real honest idea as to what it has the potential of doing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. I was just a bit unclear on what timing you were talking about.
Yep. No, I appreciate being having me clarify. So that's the change that I want to tweak. I want to stop, and I do this very frequently, is I kind of say, listen, I'm going to spin you up a custom portal. And that custom portal, you're going to be able to log in, add users, create courses, and the amount of people that actually do that is probably 5%. So what I want to do is create buy-in instantly to change it from, we're going to spin you up a custom portal, to, listen, we'd love to help you get real value out of the trial. Our research, because this is true, our research tells us that in order for people to really understand whether or not this is going to meet business requirements, is if we put a 25 or a 50 user plan to begin with. That way you have enough users, and when we help you migrate courses and create courses, you have enough users to be able to understand whether or not that's going to be effective or not. So we want to provide intelligence to the trial and help you really determine whether or not this is the best fit. And the best way that our research has shown us is by providing you a robust enough user platform to be able to test it properly.
Okay. That makes sense.
Wait, so just to help me understand it, so that totally makes sense to me, and I mean, it sounds logical, even if you're making it up right now. But yeah, kind of what David just said. So are we just trying to get them onboarded and they're going to start paying, or are they, in their mind, are they trialing it out and they just have that many users, and at the end of their trial, they're going to be like, awesome, and then just start paying? Like, are they going to pay first, or are they going to start playing with it, maybe start uploading users and then pay after?
I'm suggesting they do that before.
Then they're just going to sign up with us at the end of this call.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And we have to frame that delicately enough so that it seems like we're doing this because we know that this is going to help, not that we're just doing a sales pitch. So the idea is to create enough rapport at the end that we can say, listen, our research has shown us that the best way for you to get a real idea as to whether this is going to help your business is by signing up for a 25 or a 50 user plan, accessing all of the GO1 features. what barriers do you think? Oh no, I don't want to start it on the back foot. So just say, yeah, just go in with the idea at the end of it to say, if we were to sign you up for a 7-day trial and then move you to a 50 user per month plan, we know from our research that that's going to provide the best way of giving you an idea as to whether or not this is going to be successful. Are we able to start that 7-day trial and move you onto that 50 user plan? Something like that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Now, I'm going to share this bit of the recording afterwards so that we can go back and review, because I know that all of us do this. All of us do we're going to spin you up a custom portal, and you can log in, you can create courses, you can do whatever you want within it. And that's part of your free trial. I don't think we even actually mention free trial. We just kind of say, here's your free portal. And I think that that's hurting us a lot.
So how do we get them to start paying? Do we just say, okay, so we're gonna what we think, based on our research, if you were to deploy, the 25 or the 50 user plan, I guess you'd modify that based on the size of the company, and be like, you'll have full usage of all our features, and I'd like to, schedule a follow-up call in a week, and we'll see how that's going, and then. So I'm just trying to understand, like, when we pass them the proposal over to get them to start, like, actually paying.
Yep, good question. So they do have the ability of, if they sign up online with a credit card, we do have the ability of linking that credit card to a portal that already exists. Alternatively, we can just, it's really easy to just send them a quick little invoice. Either way.
Okay, gotcha.
The whole goal of this last section is to make when we hand over after demo more successful. Because I think that's where we're losing the majority of our deals. So one of the ways to do that is to shorten the free trial and to have there be buy-in instantly. Say, okay, we'd love to extend a 7-day trial and then move you to a 50 or 25 user plan. So that first of all, in your 7-day trial, you can get a very general look and feel, play around with the system. But then our research has shown that you aren't able to make those decisions until you have a really general idea of once we've created courses, assigning those out to the users in your business. So
okay.
we're the experts.
If we feel like we can maybe get them on, like, say we can get them on 300 users based on the call, would we still use this? And it's I'd love to hop on a call in a week, talk about this, and either move you to the 50 or perhaps the 300.
I would still shorten the free trial, but this is a tool to get buy-in instantly. So with discretion, in the scenario that you presented, I would give them a free trial, give it to them for 2 weeks, and say, then let's move it up to all 300 users.
Okay, so really depending if it's going to be like a giant enterprise or if we're just happy with getting 50 from them.
If it's a giant enterprise, I would still push for a 25 or 50 user plan straight away. And I'll share anecdotally really quickly because I want to finish up in the next 2 minutes.
Gotcha.
Anecdotally what happened with Vocus. So with Vocus, I pushed really hard when I first began to just get them onto a small user plan, and they signed up for a small user plan, and then as soon as they were in the system for a week, they said, actually, we have an urgent training requirement, and we need to scale up to 550 users. But because I already had them in the system, and I had some users, and I had some courses, it was a really simple transition across to that because I was already ready. So that's one of the ways that I scaled up what was previously only a 3K deal to a 12K deal in literally a week. It scaled up to that.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, I've gone over time, and but this was the intent, was to share, first and foremost, accolades for Adrian and Brian. Adrian, who booked 15 demos, 12 demos in 2 days, and Brian, who grew his projected pool by over 110,000. To share some of the numbers, which we're tracking really well towards our goals. Right now, we're at 114K of 300. So we're a little bit over a third of the way with probably a month and a half to go in order to hit our trip goal. So this is one of the ways that I think is going to help towards that, is shortening free trials by getting buy-in instantly. Any questions or anything else that anyone else wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I don't know what the goal is. Sorry, I was just asking. Yeah, the trip. Yeah, the goal for the trip. What is the goal? Sorry, Austin.
Our goal is to get 300,000 or
Okay.
400,000, and then we get some funds to utilize in order to go onto a trip.
Ah, okay, cool.
Yep.
And that's in how long?
We have to do that before the end of December, and we're a third of the way there.
Excellent. Cool. Thanks.
Okay, guys, get home to your families, but I appreciate everyone spending some time in the afternoon. Any other queries or questions from anyone?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to send out this last portion of the recording where I share the behavior change, and then we're going to do a follow-up in the next demos. I want to hear people's feedback. Obviously, I've only tested this a couple of times, but I appreciate everyone spending some time. So, good night, everybody. Thanks for being here tonight.
Excellent. Thank you.